sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. All right, we're live. It's 10 drink minimum. It's the last party of the weekend. Ah, there's James.
There he is.
There he is. James just walked in late. Let me share this. I'm still trying to find this on the damn... Dude, Facebook is such a piece of something or other. You know?
It's what?
Piece of something or other.
Oh.
I hate it. I hate it. I feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I pretty much...
Mic on.
Oh.
We gotta turn it on for the guy who's late.
Johnny come lately here.
Johnny come lately. How's everybody doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound really good. I am doing so good because my baby has started sleeping more. And I'll tell you, a full 9 hours of sleep the other day really just changed my life.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I finally found the thing to share after like how long, and I still can't share. See, like this is why Facebook drives me crazy.
I hate Facebook. I pretty much just use Facebook to like share pictures of my children with family members.
There we go. You have to like go to your fan page, change it to you personally so you can share it on stuff. Let me share it on everybody's stuff here. Everyone bear with us. It's been quite a weekend. I don't know.
Yes.
James made me drink a bunch of beers. How are you doing, James?
I'm doing surprisingly better than normal. Is my mic?
I don't know. Are you the third? Oh, you probably. Try it again.
How about this? There we go. There we go.
Woof. There's no need to yell at us.
Hey, man, I'm angry today.
Yeah, you are. Let's see. Share on a friend's profile. James Smiley. If people would just go into Facebook and like set it to just automatically pop up whenever we go live, it would just be so much nicer.
I mean, yes.
You know, I don't know. I just don't know. And then my parents are here, but I don't know why they're not out here watching. I guess I don't know. I have no idea anymore. I have to tell you, this weekend.
I did see them. I walked in and they're all, "Ooh, you're in trouble," and that's all I said.
Will you go in and ask if they're gonna come watch or if they're not? You know.
I mean, I guess so. They seemed pretty intent on just sitting at, like, they knew I came in late, and they just went.
They literally stayed to watch the show, but they're not here, so I don't know what's happening at this point.
They told me I was in trouble.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yes, I know that. Like, I know I'm coming in late," and they're all, and they just sat. They just kept sitting.
Okay.
I mean, you should be happy that your parents still have interest in what you do after all these years. My parents just kind of stopped coming.
Well, yeah.
And I should take that back. My mom comes to shows when she can, but
they've lost interest.
They're like, yeah.
I don't know.
I think they're scared that I make fun of them a lot, which...
well, that's fair. I mean, I make fun of my parents some. I mean, well, yeah. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're like, they think if they'll come out here, I'll make fun of them. Maybe. Which I will.
I mean, yes.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. So, let's see if I can fix this for Smiley. He's all cockeyed optimism, or maybe not. What way are you? There we go.
Sorry about that.
See, this is all stuff that gets fixed at the beginning. We have a new camera angle. So we have... We do. So check this out, right? So we have me, then there's Holly, then there's James, and then there's everybody.
Hooray!
See, constantly evolving this show.
Good job, Chris.
Taking it to the next level. If you're not watching live, we don't want you. I'm just kidding. That's not fair.
Please listen still also.
I have some things to say about that.
Okay.
So lately, you know, I
Do
had
you
the
actually want me to run in and see what your
yeah.
parents are
Well,
sitting
hold
the
on.
couch? Okay.
So lately, you know, I've had the issues where I've had a couple run-ins with people.
Mm-hmm.
Someone touched my glasses, and people think that's funny. Like they think that's a funny story, and they're like, "Ha, someone touched your glass." And I'm like, "Okay," but if some weird person came up to you to touch your glasses because they wanted to touch them, it would freak you out too. But
Yeah.
but I will say this: lately, like the last couple of weeks, I've been getting a lot of people coming up and just like saying, "Hey, really love the show. Just wanted to let you know that." And I wanted to say thank you because like that's the kind of stuff I dig. I dig that kind of like, you know, interaction. You know, it's much better than the "Hey, I love what you do. How come you don't know everything about me?" kind of, you know, message. So I've had a lot of really positive interactions with people as of late, and I'm really happy about that.
Well, that's good.
Now you can go running in, you know.
Okay.
Could you please?
Yeah.
Say say there's a couch out here set up for them. Yeah. So and then the dog's gonna run and bark at him. There she goes.
There we go.
Yeah, you can't have it without the dog barking. So you were gonna say something, I cut you off.
Oh, I don't remember
Oh, okay. Sorry.
what it was. Oh, it's okay. I'm sure it wasn't important.
Yeah. I just had to get that out there because I feel like a lot of times I bring up all the stuff that's like shitty.
Yeah.
And there's really been some really cool, like literally there's like, I think last night there was 3 people.
Wow.
And I live in Coverdance that came up and were like, "Hey, big, you know, love the show." And like, I always like try to keep stickers in my pocket. And
yeah.
and then someone kind of came up and said something that they were like, "Hey, I know your show." And then I was like, "Oh, cool." And then they were like, "You know these people, and that's how I know you." And it's people I don't like. So I went for the sticker grab, and then I stopped, and I was like, "Oh, well, cool, thank you," and I walked away.
That's funny. I hate it when. Well, how do I put?
Here's
this?
my sweaty pocket sticker.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love that. I love giving people sweaty pocket stickers.
Mm.
But I hate it when somebody is good friends with somebody you hate.
Oh yeah.
And they bring up the other person, and then you have to kind of.
So yeah, how come you haven't talked to such and such in a while?
That's been happening a lot lately.
Mm.
For reasons I shall not talk about.
Yeah.
And it gives me so much anxiety that I talked to my therapist about it this week, and she was just like, just keep pretending they're dead in your head. And
Really, that's a thing, huh?
Well, so that's kind of how I cope with breakups and friend breakups. I happen to think friend breakups are worse than romantic breakups.
Okay.
Depending on the friendship, of course, but yeah, that's just how I deal with it because I have such bad anxiety about rumors about me because of an ex that I had, and it gives me like debilitating anxiety. So I just kind of pretend they don't exist anymore.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, that's good.
You know, I don't know if that's like, it wasn't like necessarily my therapist's
I was like in my mind, I was like, just pretend they're dead. That's brilliant.
Yeah, like and it really just helps because you move on, you know.
Right. The dog is barking. That means people are coming in the studio. Bark, bark, bark. But I have had, you know, but like I said, very positive experiences with people. And feel free to come up and, you know, say hi and that you like the show. I have no problems with that. It's just when people start doing the other bullshit and they're like, what do you mean you don't know about us? We have friend anniversaries on Facebook yearly. And I'm like, you don't even have a picture of you on Facebook. How the fuck would I know who you are? So my parents are now in the studio. Move that way a little, Smiley, if you could. You know, there you go. So my parents are now in the studio. You can pull the mic that way too. See, fix your mic. Fix your mic, Smiley.
Fix your shit.
So my parents are in the studio. So let's keep the fucks and shits to a limited amount. Okay.
I just cussed.
Oh, all right. Just
shit.
I only use curse words if I need to.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you only use curse words altogether.
Together.
That's all I talk is in curses.
I mean, when people tell me not to cuss, it makes me compulsively cuss.
I had this situation. Someone said in the chat, they said, "How about damn it's?" Damn it's are allowed, I think. Damn it's are allowed. And So I had a situation the other day where
Dang it.
an old coworker that left his job to come work with me at my new job left his old coworkers, and so they were like, "Hey, I'm going to have a going away thing at a brewery. You should come and meet my old coworkers." And we're like savages,
Yeah.
And so I go.
We dress nice.
We dress nice. We dress up. We dress nice. We have fun. So I'm sitting there being myself, and then finally, like, his old boss goes, "Yeah, I have a standing rule that if you work for me, you can't curse." And I was like, "Oh, I've probably dropped the F-bomb like 5 or 6 times in the last like 3 paragraphs of my talk."
Whoops.
So then, you know what I do? Change nothing. I don't work for you.
I always forget that most people don't cuss in front of their children.
Yeah.
Which I think actually makes children curse more, because then they think it's like,
Yeah.
my kid doesn't even care. She just knows she's not allowed to say the word, but she really could give a fuck less.
I mean, I recall at that age, I would actually just run around to anyone and everyone that I could find and do this double fuck you. That was my thing.
When you were a kid, you did that?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Strangers on the street. No, I really was a heathen.
Yeah. That's
fair. We've heard stories.
Dude, one of these days, someone was like, I think my mom was like, "Have you ever met Smiley's mom?" I'm like, "Not in person." One of these days, we're going to like sit down and talk to your mom about some stuff.
Come out to Portland with me. And be
okay. We got to talk about this fool right here.
Me?
This guy, Smiley. Everybody look at him.
Not Guy Smiley. That's the character from Sesame Street.
Nope. You know who he is?
Who?
He's our Kramer.
He is our Kramer.
And I'll tell you how I figured this out. So you know what he did last week?
What?
He walks in and he has a fifth of Fireball. And I'm like,
cheers.
Hold on. Do that again. He has a fifth of Fireball. And I watch him just walk in with it. And he goes right to my freezer and he puts the bottle in the freezer. And I'm like, "Is that what you're drinking tonight?" And he goes, "No, I got a really good discount on a case of Fireball. So I'm just stashing it all over town. So I have it in different places."
Yeah.
Why did I not get offered Fireball?
Well, or any of us for that matter. But how Kramer-esque is that?
That's very Kramer.
I'm just stashing these all over town, so I have them available to me whenever I show up to places.
They're at 4 different houses now. I just put them in people's freezers and they don't even notice.
I was rewatching Seinfeld the other day, and I did have the thought, like, I know a Kramer.
It's him.
It's James.
It's James. Because, I mean, think about this. Kramer really didn't have, like, a job all the time, right?
Yeah.
He'd have, like, these on and off jobs. And then just, you never really knew how he survived, but he just did. And that's James. Like, you're just God. Like,
I have an actual job.
What is your actual job?
I do background acting and sometimes stunt work.
Sometimes background acting, sometimes stunt work.
I didn't say it was a 9 to 5.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows how you survive.
You're also just one of the most you also like tell stories that sound so unbelievable.
And they always are. They're always real.
Like, people asked me one time if you're playing a character. I said no, he's just like that all the time. I
mean, if he is, he's in the character like 100% full throttle. Yeah. And so it's like,
I'm like, honestly, Smiley is the most genuine person I know.
I mean, everyone out there, think about this. Do you have a friend that would come over and go, "Yeah, I bought a case of Fireball at a discount, so I'm just stashing bottles all over town"?
How did that make sense to me? I don't understand how it doesn't make sense.
I know.
You know what? And it also makes sense to Chris and I, because we deal with you a lot.
Right.
I didn't mean to say deal with you. That sounded mean.
I'm such a hassle.
We appreciate you so much. We are not a hassle.
He's all, "Sorry, I'm such a hassle to you guys. I'm such a burden, man."
Oh my God.
No, but it's funny. I love it. And like, people will go, "Oh man, you're here. Where's James at?" I'm like, I don't know where he is. "You guys don't hang out all the time?" I'm like, "No." Like, honestly, like when he shows up to places, like I saw him last night.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like, "Oh, there's James,"
Yeah.
Randomly showed up.
I mean, I was downtown.
Yeah.
I was just at a different venue.
What venue were you at last night?
I was at Moonlight.
Okay. I almost went down to that. But yeah.
I was at
where wasn't I?
Right, yeah.
I was at my own venue.
Your own house?
Yeah.
Jamming out?
I mean, you could call it that. I was
Do
getting
you-
spit up on.
Oh, okay. Well, me too, but but in a whole different way.
Yeah.
In a whole different way. So let me ask you this. So now, like, you have the baby. Do you like get the FOMO?
I do, but then when I go out, I spend the whole time texting whoever's watching him.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm kind of like, he's still very
that's
small.
but that's still FOMO.
Oh yeah. And then I get FOMO for him. So we went to a concert on Monday. It was my first like real full concert night out. And man, I had a lot of fun, but as soon as I got home, I felt guilty and cuddled the baby for like 4 hours straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's FOMO. You get it both ways.
Yeah.
So if you're like at home and Smiley and I are like drunk and like, throwing up into the street.
Yeah.
You're like, man, those guys have the greatest. And then like, if you're out with us throwing up in the street, you're like,
yeah.
Is my baby like walking yet? Is she talking yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different FOMO. I guess.
Moms, I don't know.
FOMO is for people out there who don't know, it's fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Momming is hard though. Because you feel guilty no matter what you do. You feel guilty if you spend too much time with them. You think you have people tell you you're spoiling your baby.
Yeah.
And then
you're not a helicopter mom, are you?
No.
Okay.
Have you met Danny?
Yeah.
Like my parenting style is like, please don't die, but have fun. Like today we went to a golf course to eat lunch with my mom and my kid was rolling down the hill right near the driving range thing. And I was just like, meh, she's not hurting anybody.
Well, you probably wanted to go fucking roll down the hill with her. You're like, I want to just
It
randomly
looked fun.
roll down the hill.
It looked fun, but then I realized that like I wouldn't be able to get up off the floor.
Right.
So.
And then the next day you would be like, why is my body sore everywhere?
Oh, because I rolled in grass.
I rolled down a hill once.
Yeah.
Feels like I got thrown down a hill.
Feels like I was in the World Heavyweight Wrestling match title.
Yeah.
Championship. I don't know how I said that so awkwardly. Jeez, like I forgot to talk. I'm pretty hungover today.
Oh, me too.
Smiley made us drink too much last night.
I barely saw you.
That's true.
It's still your fault.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I am not hungover today. I was hungover yesterday though.
Okay.
Because Hamster and I, oh my god, you guys are gonna make fun of this. Hamster and I got drunk and played Monopoly the other night.
Oh man.
And it was the first time I've ever lost Monopoly.
Okay.
Were you not cheating good enough?
I guess not.
Damn.
I don't think I've ever won at Monopoly.
I have won as a matter of fact, I told my mom today that Hamster beat me at Monopoly and she about fell over.
I honestly don't remember the last time I ever finished a game of Monopoly. Usually it goes on so long, everybody's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to light myself on fire out in the street. I hate this now.
People are usually fighting, flipping tables over.
That's me at the end too. Yeah. I'm all I'm like I'm bartering with anything I have. Give me those two properties and I will destroy. No, I won't let you. But then the game won't end.
and like now, I know this is a thing now. You can go online and you can look up like strategies of how to win every time you play.
Yeah. I learned the old-fashioned way. So I used to play with my grandpa all the time.
And he was a real capitalist.
I mean,
no.
I mean, I don't know, probably. But my goal when I was little was to beat my grandpa every time.
Yeah. And
so I have my own strategies, and I took it too easy on Hamster because he had never played Monopoly before.
Well, I always love that like people make fun of like
what you're saying is you let him win.
Yeah, I kind of let him win. I think I could have destroyed him if I had really pulled all the punches earlier in the game instead of waiting until I wanted to light the board on fire.
No one learns from a free hand up. You should have just dominated him, like burnt the board to the ground, and been like, and that is how Monopoly is.
I will burn you in ashes. I like how people make fun of like kids today, and they're like, oh, they play these virtual reality games, and they don't really do reality. Think about this: all the old board games, Monopoly,
Game of Life,
a Game of Life, and then Risk. Risk is like trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
Life is like trying to just live every day.
Hi-ho Cheerio, you're just picking cherries.
Yeah. Chutes and Ladders, you're on a playground.
Yeah.
It's like Candyland. Just that's when you're just high on drugs. That's when you're James. James lives in Candyland sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
I'm wearing epaulets just for fun today.
But think about this, like life, like, oh, I lost my job. It's like, what kind of game is that?
I mean, but at least you're like playing a game. Like, okay, Danny likes to watch videos of people playing on playgrounds.
Yeah, wait, what about the kids that like open toys?
Oh yeah, she likes that too.
Yeah.
But she gets bored of that pretty quick because we're poor. So she knows she's probably not getting a lot of those things. But
oh gosh, I got something that's nuts. Go ahead.
My nephew does I've watched him. He watches videos of other people playing video games.
Yeah, that's big. That's a big deal.
I'm like, what is this? Do you want to go downstairs and play video games? He's like, I need to finish this episode.
Yeah, and it starts with them watching other people play on playgrounds. I'm like, do you want me to take you to a park?
Right.
So you can ride a slide? And she's like, no, it's hot.
That's too much.
It's too. And then I'm like, okay, go play outside.
First of all, your slide is plastic.
Yeah.
Ours was fucking made out of steel and iron.
And not only that, but the park we take her to has like a squishy ground.
Yeah.
She can jump off of anything, not break a bone.
They like shred up tires and shit. And that's the ground.
Yes.
And I remember the first time I saw that, I was like,
no, this is even better than that. They're like rubber tile things covered in fake grass. I don't know. Anyway.
Have you seen the one at the Civic Plaza?
No, I haven't been to that one.
They have a whole hill of that. Like so they have like if you go to Civic Plaza, like the playground was up at like kind of the upper level. So what they did is they made a whole hill of that,
they
like,
have that over
rubbery
there too.
Shit.
Yeah.
And so they can like bounce and flip down the hill and not like bust their head open.
Why don't they have these at bars?
Oh my God, that'd be genius.
That would be genius.
My parents didn't give a shit.
They're all, it's been out in the sun all day. Go slide down that slide.
They're like, it's 100 degrees in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let's put shorts on you to go to the park.
So here's what our stuff was made out of. The main piece was steel.
Yeah.
The piping that held it up was iron.
Yeah.
And then it was concreted into the ground, and the concrete was up above, and then that was on top of some concrete.
Yeah.
So if you fell off of it,
you were done.
Might as well just die.
Sometimes they would paint it too, just to ruin your clothes.
Oh yeah. I went to a Catholic school who our playground was the church parking lot. Like instead of giving us an actual playground, they had to use that property for extra playground or for extra parking. So our playground was asphalt.
Wow.
And I literally still have like a piece of gravel stuck in my hand.
Bro, you kids like gravel? Fun times. Oh yeah, where you like, here's the other one. You slide down the slide and you overcompensate and you land on your feet, but you keep going forward and you fall right into the gravel, land right on your hands, and gravel goes right into the palm of your hands. Yeah. And I know everyone of our age just went, oh yeah, and your knees right away.
I still have scars. What were you thinking, Debbie?
I just used to be real mean and cruel to my kids. It was just a thing.
It was just a thing.
It's called child abuse.
Well, it wasn't in those days, but now it would be. They would be like, they'd have you arrested. You had your kid play on this? How dare you?
I don't know. My parents used to like leave me at home alone, let me use the stove.
Well, yeah. How else are you gonna feed yourself?
I
know. There's money under that thing on the coffee table, the loaded gun. Just whatever. Just
order
get that.
A pizza.
Order
or
a pizza, yeah. And just if you could sweep up all those glass shards on the floor, or I'll get it later. Don't worry about it.
My parents would make me pull weeds all day outside in the summer. And like that was fun. Like to me, that was like normal. I had to do that. And Danny, the other day, we were telling her that like when I was your age, like I had to like stay home when Mimi went to work. And she's like, what did you do? I'm like, whatever I wanted. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I was like, and I would make myself macaroni and cheese.
You're not tall enough, but the boiling pot is up on the stove, and you just grabbing the handle off when you think it's boiling, and it just pours right on your head.
Yeah. I made myself macaroni and cheese. She was like, oh, like the microwave kind? I'm like, no. They didn't have that then.
Yeah, they didn't have that.
I used the stove, and she's like, but that's dangerous. It has fire. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, I'm good for her thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I tell her all the time. She likes to help me cook, and I had to explain to her not to touch flames one time because kids are kind of dumb.
Like cats.
Yeah.
What is this thing?
Since my mom is here, should I tell the story about how my mom taught me that the stove was hot?
Yes.
She's going to love this. So she goes, let me show you how hot this is. She goes, you know how I have to like put the cigarette in my mouth and light it to like get it to light? And she just sticks the cigarette to the stove and it lights on fire. She's like, that's how hot it is.
Do you know what my dad did to me to teach me about the iron? I don't feel like that's that bad.
No, but like like you think about it, you're like, that's how your mom taught you the stove. Yep. But I understood. I was like, I got it.
Yeah, it made. She probably didn't have to explain it as many times as I had to explain it to Danny.
I realized it.
She likes to do like dance moves in the kitchen while I'm trying to cook, and I'm like, do you know you could catch me on fire by doing that?
And she's like, uh-huh.
And she's like, that's cool. Do you know what my dad, I kept like wanting to touch the iron as a kid.
What?
And he was like, all right, go ahead. And he just let me touch the iron.
Once.
And he's like, you never touched it again. I'm like, yeah, and I won't touch an iron still. So
and I have no feeling in those fingers for the rest of my life. Cool. Yeah. I'm like a plumber.
It is nice I don't have those fingerprints anymore.
Right. I could commit murder now.
I say all that, but like, like as a kid, I mean, I had the flaws too. Like the one thing I could just never like, I would cook soup, like Campbell's like soup, like vegetable soup or like the sirloin burger one. And for me, I just wanted it done as fast as possible. So I would just cook it on high.
Right.
And it'd just be stuck to the pan. And every time she would be like, put it on medium, cook it slow, and it doesn't stick to it. And I just never would.
I still know people that cook like that.
I still do.
Fine.
It's still happening. She shakes her head. I have to tell some, I can't just like blow my mom up and then just be like, I was perfect. I was not.
Kids are weird.
I had my mom the very last time that we were back in Arkansas. She showed me the old schoolyard that she had her recess in. And it's not a freaking school. It's a graveyard.
What?
And it's next to the church where she attended school.
She's like, this is where most of my friends are. Like, oh.
And it's no, I mean, I guess it was already a graveyard, but that was where they had recess. And she showed me the old stump where her and her friends played Mumbly Peg.
Mumbly Peg.
What the
I've heard of this, and I've okay, hold on. Let's Mumbly.
The delightful game that my mom still has scars on her fingers from.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
What the?
Mumbly Peg. This is according to Wikipedia. Mumbly Peg. Mumbly Peg. Okay, also known as Mumbly Peg. Hold on. Do you guys know Mumbly Peg?
I've heard of.
All right. Same as me. Mumbly Peg is an outdoor game played using pocket knives. Oh, I do know this. The term Mumbly Peg came from the practice of putting a peg of about 2 to 3 inches into the ground. The loser of the game had to take it out with his teeth. What?
Wow, I don't think they did that. But there was a lot of throwing. Okay,
Mumbly Peg is generally played between two people with a pocket knife. In other common versions of the game, two opponents stand opposite one another with their feet shoulder width apart. The first player then takes the knife and throws it to stick in the ground as he nears his own foot as possible. Wow. The second player then repeats the process. Whichever player sticks the knife closest to his foot wins the game.
Oh, well, see, my mom and her friends did it with their hands on a stump of wood.
Okay. Were you like, oh God.
They'd put their hands down on the stump of wood and they'd throw their pocket.
But see, the kids now would just watch other people do that.
They would watch that on Twitch.
I would watch that.
Or on YouTube. That's fair. Oh, yeah, man, my favorite channel is the Mumbly Peg channel. I'm really into it, man. You know what I used to watch at work?
Huh.
I worked at one of the big laboratories, and you would have like really busy times, and then you'd have slow times.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd watch YouTube. And one of my coworkers got me into this YouTube channel where they would take like a machine gun, like a AR-15 or like a AK-47, and they would shoot it with as many rounds as they could till it caught on fire. And then the gun would they would shoot it until the gun would no longer work. And they would go, this is how many rounds it took. And,
oh my God.
And it sounds terrible, but you just you'd watch them shoot. And then all of a sudden they'd start putting on protective gloves and stuff, like welding equipment, so that they could hold the gun and keep firing. And then the AK-47 would be on fire and they're still firing it, and the AK-47 lasted forever.
Boys watch the weirdest things.
We do.
Because I would never sit and watch. But here's what I will watch. I will watch somebody decorate a house for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'll do that too.
But
It's
see,
so
you
good.
actually learn something that way.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I learned something. I learned how long an AK-47 would last I was in a firefight,
Yes.
And if the gun was on fire, I could still shoot a bunch of people.
That
So
is so much usable knowledge right there.
So is this what I have to look forward to my son watching?
Yes.
Just hey, Mom, did you know that an AK-47? And then I will just tune him out.
You're gonna mom talk. You're gonna be all, oh, that's nice, honey. All right.
4,000 rounds until it turns into slag. That's great.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Exactly.
Mm.
I watched that stuff too. I'm like, I remember the last time I was like, what in the hell is shiplap?
Oh,
know?
shiplap is nice.
They use that shit all the time.
All the
You know
time.
who I'm talking about when I say shiplap.
I
know the
mean,
couple.
Yes, I do.
You know who they are. Those who we do not name.
Yeah.
Chip and Joanna.
Did you ever watch that show I told you to watch where it's you either get married or you buy a house?
I didn't. I mean,
Oh my God, it's so good.
I need to write stuff down.
It's like Love It or List It, but
no.
way dumber. The people are so dumb. It's okay, we will give you money but we will take your money that you could buy a beautiful house with, or you can spend that amount of money on a wedding. And you would be so surprised how many people choose the wedding.
That's so dumb, in my opinion.
I mean, $70,000 on a wedding.
What?
See, those are the people that apparently have never had parties thrown in their honor before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or they're just dumb.
I wouldn't go for a wedding. I've had so many parties in my honor.
You know what I did watch though?
What?
Dune.
Did you watch it? No spoilers. I haven't watched it yet. We're watching
The
it tonight.
sleeper has awakened.
Oh, we're watching that tonight.
Do you want to hear my review?
I saw it at Flips
Yes.
Brewhouse. It was so good.
Yes, I want to hear your review.
I
Just don't spoil anything.
I won't.
Well, have you read the book? There's not really
Yes.
spoilers going on.
I
here.
mean, I know.
Okay,
But,
if you know, so here's the spoilers. That is kind of funny. I didn't think about that. I
well,
was
but
I might
you know,
so
if there's something
right.
that's gonna
all right. So
shock me.
here's what I'm going to say about this. The casting, pretty perfect. Pretty perfect.
The casting, for sure.
Yeah.
Can I also have another beer, please?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody.
You want one of these Bud Lights?
No.
My mom just looked at me like, oh, we have some Bud Lights in here. We don't have a lot. Casting is pretty perfect. Here. Oh, no. Give him this. Casting is pretty perfect.
Okay.
Okay. The visuals are beyond perfect.
Amazing. That's why I had to see it in the theater.
The acting is pretty spot on.
I would say subpar, but okay.
Okay, maybe subpar. You say subpar? Why do you say subpar? Who did you think was not good?
I thought Oscar Isaac's Duke Leto was a little
Really? He was one of my favorite parts.
I thought he was cast perfectly, but he seemed really lackluster.
Okay. No, I don't know. But what about what's his name as the Baron?
Oh, he was amazing.
That's amazing.
That was freaking Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård. So you've seen the original?
I've
Dune?
seen the original. I've read the book.
Oh man, the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking creepy now.
Oh.
Like he's supposed to
Creepy
be.
as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, if you read
Yeah.
if you read Dune,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be
Dude, he is
creepy
It's
as
like
fuck.
when he floats up and he's all, you're like, like gives you the heebie-jeebies.
I love it.
So story wise, they split it into two. It's going to be 2 movies.
Okay.
So as far as we're at right now, I am going to say the director did better than anyone possibly ever could, and the door is open, so the cat is meowing out the door.
Uh-oh.
So can someone go shut the door? But like, as perfect as you possibly could do a Doom movie, I think this guy pulled it off. I read some reviews. They're saying it's kind of slow. I'm like, it's Dune.
Yeah.
You know? The Sting character from the original movie doesn't show up. So there's 2 characters that don't show up in this movie at all.
Oh.
The Emperor.
Yeah.
And that Sting character, I can't think of his name.
Right.
They're not in it.
Okay.
But Batista is the son of the Baron, and he's only in a small fraction. But what you see, you're like, whoa, yeah.
Okay.
Are you talking about the Beast Raban?
Yes.
You know what we never talked about was the Sopranos movie.
Oh God.
It was. I tried to watch it again, and
so
I fell
bad.
asleep. It was so bad. It's
so bad.
The only thing is, I hope maybe that it was like a budgetary issue or like, I don't know, something happened.
Right.
But because here's the deal, I want to know the stories from back in the day, but like, let's do it correctly.
Okay, here's my review of that movie.
Yeah.
Generic mob movie written.
Yeah.
Let's just add the Soprano characters as younger.
Yeah, true.
And
True.
Yeah, we were offline. We're still here. Okay, so we're still in.
Okay, what was that?
I don't know
What
how much.
just happened there?
I don't know how much we lost. Like, I'm gonna leave it on that. But have you seen the new Halloweens at all?
No.
My mom was big in. So when you talk about horror films,
Yeah.
we watched The Nightmare on Elm Streets. We watched Friday the 13th.
All the good
But
ones.
my mom, I will honestly say, was probably more a fan of the Halloween. Michael Myers was probably
too.
more her guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when you say bring back the old actors, you just really can't do that because they don't have that doctor. That doctor guy who was in the first two.
Yeah.
He made it. He gave credence to House. That actor.
But he got killed.
He did.
Yeah.
But like he made those movies where you were like, oh gosh, Michael Myers is a sociopathic, psychotic killer, you know?
Well, and like he like gave, I don't know. Anyway. I like Halloween movies. So Crystal and I are upset. This is how Crystal and I like got really close is like she loves like Halloween, Friday the 13th, all that stuff. I love Michael Myers. Jason's pretty good too. But here's the thing. Rob Zombie kind of ruined the Halloween when he had Michael Myers making noise as he killed people because the creepy part about Michael is he's just silent. Because he doesn't care.
They just pan like the character's like looking and they're panning the camera and then all of a sudden the light shows and he's like behind them.
Yeah.
And he's like and they're like and he lifts him off the ground and kills him. So I want to talk about something that I've thought about recently.
Okay.
And so I bought one of those VR helmets.
Oh, you did?
I did. And it is amazing.
Now you just need a swivel chair.
No, because you stand up. Like here's how it works. It's the Oculus Quest 2.
Oh, you have one of those.
It doesn't connect to anything. So you actually paint around you like a safety fence. So it's fine. Okay. So like I have the Darth Vader game. And I want to talk to you about this VR shit, right? Last time I played VR, it was like, oh, this is kind of neat. No. It is, they've got it down.
They had it down for a while. Now they just have it streamlined.
This Star Wars game. So you're in this like ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the helmet and you can see your hands and everything. And like the person, your robot is like, oh, hit the hyperdrive, and you're hitting the switches. And then you get pulled out of hyperdrive and it's by a Star Destroyer. And like you look up and a Star Destroyer is like flying overhead and you're like, wow. So then you get pulled by a tractor beam down to Mustafar, which is Darth Vader's like planet. Well, the stormtroopers like come into the ship and you're like, I was literally like, I had my hands up. I was like, hands are up. And they shoot you with like the stun beam, right? And you wake up in a holding cell.
Wow.
And this guy comes in and he's like, we're going to torture you and like get all the information we need out of you. And he goes, hopefully you give that information because I hate cleaning up the cell afterwards. And you're like, and all of a sudden the door opens and Darth Vader walks in. And he walks up and they purposely, I'm 6'2", and Darth Vader they make him bigger than you.
Oh my God.
And he's all, open this cube, and he hands it to you and you grab it and like you open it and it works. And then he's like, this is the one we've been looking for. And you're like, and then he just like uses the force to pull the cube away from you. And I was like, oh my God. So my thing is, here's the game they need to make. They need to make a Friday the 13th game.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're Jason.
The same thing, yeah.
Yes.
And you're Jason.
Here's the thing though about that is
No.
I feel like
or
there's
Michael
a kid
Myers. Yeah.
Who is a psycho.
Yeah, that's true.
But on the other hand,
I mean, there's already a game like this, but it's not.
Instead of being like a Dexter, if you've ever seen Dexter, his dad teaches him how to like channel it in a way. So maybe there wouldn't be so many serial killers because they would channel it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a video game.
So they already make one. They already make a Friday the 13th where you play as Jason.
All of my favorite VR games are horror games because the immersiveness, like you'll be sitting there and like you hear something and you're like,
see everybody's like, there's a bunch of horror games on it, and everybody's like, oh, you should get them. I'm like, yeah.
So I can be scared in my own house.
Yeah,
I need my tets to reassure me.
Right.
Oh thank God. Oh thank God.
Yeah, like
I would love that.
So you're literally playing, right? And you have to climb. You have to climb ladders and stuff. And I can't imagine like climbing a ladder and you get to the top and like something jumps out and you're like, ah, die and fall off.
Oh, I could imagine that.
But I'll tell you the scariest game that I don't want.
What?
But I'm kind of interested in.
What?
Tall man?
It's called Climb. And you climb mountains and skyscrapers in VR. And I'm like, what if I have a heart attack? Like I fall off and I like fall. Because I think, yeah, we're back. But like, I want to climb. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
I don't want to check it out.
Yeah.
Because they said that like, even they've had experienced. I was watching a review of it. They've had experienced climbers climb, and they still have the same like heart rate things. Like
really,
when they're climbing. Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta check this thing out. When you're playing, the thing that's almost messed me up is I've almost leaned on stuff because it's not there. But like it feels like you feel like there's a boxing game I have. And you have to step on the scale to start it. And like you literally step up like you're getting on the scale and then it's not there. And you're like, you almost fall down. And then I fought a three round fight. And I had to sit down because I thought I was going to pass out. Because you're fighting. It's a simulator. It's like literally boxing simulator where you fight someone for 3 rounds. For three 2-minute rounds.
Wow.
And but in the Star Wars game, I'm in the ship and I like literally there's a thing next to me and I almost like leaned on it. I was like, oh, that's not really there. Like have you played the Oculus?
I have. You have the newer one, right?
I have the newer one
too. Yeah.
But how realistic is that shit?
It creepily, like it's really realistic. Like the games I played on it are like really like almost like Guitar Hero style things.
So I got a game called Unplugged, right? It's air guitar.
Oh.
So you're in the game and you're like on stage and like you look around and like behind you there's like old, like you're in a shitty dive bar.
Yeah.
There's like keg shells and all that, and you grab the guitar and you play and you go up and down the neck. It's like Guitar Hero, but it's like even more in depth than Guitar Hero. You have to grab the pick and start playing, and you unlock different guitars, you unlock different amps, and then like I found an Easter egg. After you're done, if you do the devil horns, it like fires electricity out into the crowd and it like pumps them up more. You're like, you know, like, yeah, it was so cool. So cool.
Yeah, those are so fun. Like I remember the first time I got into it. It's all about the horror games on those. Though,
oh God,
because
I don't want to do that.
It's terrifying.
It's gotta be terrifying.
It is terrifying.
That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah,
Speaking,
you guys have to come over and check it out.
that sounds like fun.
Or I could come over because you don't have to like it. You just have
really portable.
Just connect to Wi-Fi. It's very portable.
Wow, that's cool.
It doesn't connect to a computer. It's all in the headset.
That's so cool. Yeah. So speaking of horror, last night I thought I would introduce Danny to Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
Because it's spooky season.
Okay.
And I was like, we could watch. Do you know Scooby-Doo scared her?
What?
Scooby-Doo. Not the like movies. It was like the old cartoons.
Yes.
And she was not about it.
Oh, wow.
I was like, no, just watch to the end. And then you'll be really terrified because you'll find out that the monsters are really just people.
Just a rich
But that's
dude
the terrifying
who's an
part.
asshole.
It's just capitalism. That's
It's
the
just
actual.
capitalism.
That was the monster all along.
Yeah.
It was the monster.
No, she was so scared. She was like, I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, have you
Aw.
seen-
And it's
have you
sad because like last year she loved spooky stuff, and now all of a sudden I guess she's like older and maybe like finally afraid of things. I don't know. But
Yeah, maybe we'll watch some spooky stuff tonight. I don't
That
know.
is
Ooh.
way too early to
Are
be
you
afraid of things.
are you gonna hang out tonight with us?
Sure.
All right, maybe we'll watch some horror stuff. We'll order some
I wish
food.
I could hang out, but I have to do homework with my kids. So
That's some interesting.
What's your
shit.
homework?
Oh,
my
my gosh,
God.
we told the story earlier. You weren't here.
oh no, we didn't
We
say it
told it
on
before
here.
the show. Yeah.
So Danny has her first book report,
Mm,
and she's 5.
that's crazy to me.
So like she had to pick a book, and then she has to decorate a pumpkin. You can't carve it because it's going to sit in a classroom, and also like 5-year-olds shouldn't be carving pumpkins by themselves.
They should be playing. They should be playing a
Mumbly
VR
peg.
like Friday the 13th.
Right. So right now her dad hopefully is decorating a pumpkin with her, and then when I get home I have to finish writing her like thing about the book, because here's the thing, like she knows the letters but she doesn't know how to write the words by herself yet. Like you have to tell her how to spell things. So it literally has taken
So it's like dictation.
days. Yes.
It's just, I want it to be like this. Oh,
Yep. And yeah, it's been interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean, that is a much better technique than my mom just telling me to fail my classes. Why didn't you learn this on your own?
Again, parenting is different now.
Again, we need Smiley's mom to come here, and we need to see her and talk to her about some things.
This was on the curriculum. Did you not read your syllabus?
I don't know. Yeah.
Just give him a whipping.
Just give him a whipping.
Just give her. I bet it would motivate her if I just gave her a whooping.
We're kind of at the end of the hour here, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break, or a little bit of a break. I don't know about 10 minutes, but we're gonna take a break and refresh our beers, and
maybe Smiley will share his Fireball. I don't know.
Maybe we'll do some shots of Fireball in the house. We also have Jägermeister. Jaeger bombs.
Another thing that I routinely put in all of my friends' houses.
Yeah, in the guise of I brought you a housewarming gift.
It's a generous gift, all right?
It is a generous gift.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
We should make my mom do a shot of Malort. Just kidding. I would never do that mean thing to my mom. So Holly Ann, you have some stuff to promote. And we're gonna probably talk about the second hour. Probably,
yeah.
Well, let me just tell you real quick. We're probably going to have a very, very heavy second hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People in New Mexico have been dealing with something this last week, and we kind of probably should talk about it.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about
Very heavy second hour. So if you're going to come in and think it's going to be light, it's probably not going to be.
I mean, I'll lighten it up at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So to promote, I have my show tomorrow, but tomorrow is not an open mic. Tomorrow is Night of the Living Cover Comics.
Woo.
And in the second hour, I will not say who is doing what, but I will name some of the favorite comedians that you will see tomorrow. Right on. I'm going to be Whitney Cummings.
What?
Obviously. Yeah.
I was hoping Paula Poundstone.
I thought about it, but I couldn't.
Skinny, now I'm fat.
Yeah. But then I couldn't find a jacket with shoulder pads.
Right.
So
you have to have the shoulder pads.
You couldn't find a zoot suit.
I couldn't. Oh my God, I'm dying.
Is there an Ellen DeGeneres?
No.
Oh.
There's not.
Is it mostly male?
Yes. But the females are bringing it. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, the girls are really...
I'm going to be there. I'm excited for this. And this is at Inside Out.
Yes. I'm just going to say that I was surprised some of the comedians that ended up on the list. Okay. I was like, oh, okay.
I think this is a great idea.
I think so too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. I feel weird though. I'm not going to lie. I do feel weird covering another comedian's material.
See, and that's why like I was talking to Barney about this, and Joe Anderson is like, we need to do one of the Night of Living cover bands is all like rap groups.
Yeah.
And not a single rap group will do it because it's such a thing in the culture. It's only like country and rock.
Yeah.
Where people do covers. They cover other people. Rap music, they don't cover other people's stuff. And it's
that's called biting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you got up there and said, "Hey, tonight I'm going to do all of Eminem's material," that's not biting. You're literally saying I'm doing it, but people just won't do it.
Yeah.
And comedy, I could see kind of in that vein, but I think also it's fun though.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and
I mean, we'll see.
I don't know. There's a couple that I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be great. There is also a couple that I'm like, okay.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
But it's going to be like 9/11 cover bands where you're like, I don't really, Green Day. And then all of a sudden it happens and you're like, wow, that was actually pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
You know?
So we'll see what happens. It should be a lot of fun. And then also on Wednesday, I will be at Hollow Spirits performing as myself. So.
Okay. I guess people are into that. So, I'm just kidding.
Actually, on Wednesday, I'll be Holly Bird as Paula Poundstone. So.
I don't know any of her other jokes, but I wish I did. I wish I could do some. I'm gonna watch some Paula Poundstone now, just so I can fuck with you. Smiley, what do you got going on?
You can, I don't know, assumably you can see me at some point on Big Sky.
That's right, yeah.
Which is out currently. It's still filming, so I don't know. I haven't any of the episodes I've been in. I don't think are on air yet.
We watched.
look for me on that.
We watched News of the World. How come you're not in that?
Because it wasn't filmed in Albuquerque.
It was filmed in New Mexico.
Yes, Mexico's
Smiley's
big
mobile.
place.
Smiley's mobile now.
Yeah, but I haven't been lately.
I'm just messed up.
I'm disappointed.
I'm going to tease this for the second hour. I went to all 6 nights of Night of Living cover bands.
Nice.
And I have some notes.
I have some notes.
No, I mean, like I kind of want to talk about some of the bands that were
Okay.
that I was surprised by.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I mean, there was definitely some bands I was kind of let down by.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
They tried their best.
I don't think they did, but
Okay.
Sure. I feel like first there's one band I'm going to talk about that like I don't even remember their name, but I'll tell you who they were, and I was disappointed in them, and I'm fine saying it.
Okay.
But there's a couple bands I was like really in. I explained this to people when I was there. They're like, I don't know a lot of these bands, and I would tell them, and I go, you know what? That's a good thing, because now you're seeing bands you wouldn't normally see, and maybe,
Right.
and they're like, and they'd go, that you're right,
Right.
It's like, so there was some real surprises, and I was really excited about some stuff, and I want to talk about that. But other than that, I do this show on Sunday nights with these idiots here.
I have a couple of degrees, but I'm still stupid.
Most Sundays from 5 to 7. I get that from like George Costanza, because like they're always like, you are stupid. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm real stupid.
Yeah.
I'm a real idiot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld recently.
I can tell. Yes.
Kramer. He's our Kramer. You want to be my latex salesman.
I love George Costanza.
It's weird how much like that show is dated, but still works.
Yeah.
But anyway, we do this show live Sundays, most Sundays, 5 to 7 p.m. You can check us out on facebook.com/10drink or our website, 10drinkminimum.com, or smash that like and subscribe on our 10 Drink Minimum channel, as Billy would say, who will be here in December. But let me find all that stuff real quick. But so we're gonna take a little bit of a break. We'll be back, and my parents are here, and they're definitely drinking, so you should as well. But always remember,
Never get too drunk to jerk. 10drinkminimum.com.
It's not about you. It's not all about you. Right? Take your time and look away. Realize the things you say. Colorless light. Baby, I know what time does. The sun is a summer butterfly. Love is You took the earth from my mind until the end of time. You took the earth from my mind until the end of about you. It's all about you. Cry. Take your time and look away. Realize the things you say. On a colorless light, baby, I know what time does. It's a song of one. You took me off of my mind until the end of time. You took me off of my mind until the end of time. You took me off of my mind until the end of time. You took me off of my mind until the end of. Slow your pride, lift your tight tracks, build your fire. I will be too blunt, take the words from fate to illusion now. Enter the night, bring your head attached, we can survive. I will be too blunt, take the word from fate to illusion now. Oh, I see to her as you walk into say how I see the air, the stars dark into touch, and they are sweet as cool. lonely parts of town. Yes, I was lucky too.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Okay, we're back. We're live. It is the Billy / Wavy Hour. Smiley is currently pouring shots of the Fireball.
Oh my god!
Because I think he feels bad that we were giving him shit about it. And my father is going to stand up for a second because he wants one of these shots of Fireball. First of all, that's an overpour, son. What do you work at, Anodyne?
Oh my god!
What do you mean? At least I'm consistent with the overpours.
Yeah.
They're all level.
Yeah. Why is there more than one?
I don't know. There was another shot glass there.
All right. Well, whose is this then? I'm not doing two.
Here, I can do one.
Oh, you're doing one of them. All right.
I'll do.
So Smiley has two shots in front of him.
Hey, cheers.
All right. Here's the
Friends.
Don't ask questions.
Friends and Halloween. See, that doesn't even bother me anymore. I feel like Fireballs.
Oh boy.
It bothered him apparently. He didn't like it.
It's some cinnamon going
That's
on.
some cinnamon. To me, it always just tastes like what was that old Hot Damn?
Yeah.
You remember Hot Damn?
Damn.
Anybody remember the Hot Damn?
I do.
Yeah, old school. There was like Hot Damn, and there was Hot Damn 100. And like if you got the Hot Damn 100, you were on a collision course with a hangover.
Oh, for sure.
That made me feel weird.
I also brought a Corona in
fun.
here that's been sitting in my fridge for like probably months.
I want it so bad.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pop that motherfucker open for you right now.
Can I
do you
it?
like Corona?
Can I do it?
I hate it so much.
This is my favorite part about Coronas. They explode.
Oh fuck! On the brand new rug. On the new rug. Nope. Okay.
No, I mean you always get a good pop.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't. Oh, man, I hate getting into this right now.
Smell that skunkiness.
Smell that shittiness. So we in New Mexico, especially with the New Mexico film, we've had a real insane week. Everything's been in the news. Alec Baldwin.
Oh my god.
Accidentally shot on the set of Rust. Accidentally shot. Was it the direct? It wasn't direct.
Cinematography. Oh yeah.
Let me, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, and so that happened.
I have a lot of things to say
And
about
Smiley, of course, like I feel like Smiley's our like expert on this because Holly Ann and I are not on set. We've never been. I'm in one movie. And Holly Ann, have you ever been in a movie at all?
I've been an assistant director on it, or not what am I talking about? I've been a PA.
Assistant?
I've been a PA on like a talk show, not a.
Okay.
I've never been on.
Holly Ann's like I've directed 3 movies.
I've starred and directed and filmed 3 motion pictures, Christopher.
She's all. Have you ever heard of Netflix? No. So Smiley. Okay. So
I'm offended.
Let's get I really like to. Let's see. I'd like to get the woman's name that sadly was killed. It was on this. So you said it was on the set of Rust.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot. I mean, I've been out and about, and there's been a ton of chatter. People have actually sent me screenshots of people who were on set talking about what happened.
Wow.
I'm sure it must have been like the worst thing ever.
And what is the?
I mean, it's the reason I stopped being a paramedic. It's honestly the reason I stopped waiting tables. I had a customer die on me. Like I don't expect to go to work and have someone die.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find the woman's name because I feel like that's the most important.
And I feel like this
Halyana. How do you say her name? It's Halyna. Halyana.
Helena.
Halyana.
But I have no.
That was her name. And I saw Alec Baldwin had reached out to her husband and her family. And I mean, first of all, my heart goes out to her family.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to him because I mean. He's just an act like he's a person at work.
Yeah.
Like you imagine at work if you pick up a tool and boom, you kill someone, but it wasn't your fault at all. Like you have no clue,
See, and that's a lot of the thing I have talk about.
I kind of feel like we need to divert to Smiley on it because I have no clue. So I did hear. So the thing is Friday night I go out in the chatter I hear the chatter I saw screenshots of people talking about how they were using live rounds. Live rounds were accidentally mixed in with real rounds on set. And as of Friday, people didn't know that. And I saw screenshots of people who were on set talking about that. Then by Saturday, it became knowledge that was a possibility.
Like, how does that even happen? Like, I feel like you shouldn't even have live rounds on a film set.
Well, before we let Smiley in this, a number of years ago, I went to visit my friends in Bellingham, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And we fly into Seattle. And we have 3.5 hours to kill. And I'm like, well, there's this great pizza place everyone talks about. And I have to go check it out to see if it's as mesmerizing and amazing as everybody said. And it was good. And then my friends were like, well, what should we do now? And jokingly, I'm like, well, let's go to Bruce Lee's grave.
Oh.
And they're like, oh, well, it's actually not far from here. Let's do that. And I'm like, okay. So we get in the car and we get an Uber and we Uber to the cemetery. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of talking about how we're all talking about Bruce Lee movies and and we're like, oh man, that's so cool. And it's like a fun, cool thing that we're going to go see where Bruce Lee's buried. And we start walking towards where, you kind of know where it is. They have a map and,
right.
And we walk over the hill, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, Brandon Lee.
Brandon's here too.
I was going to bring that up.
And the weight of it comes down on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't alive when Bruce Lee died. I'm 46, and I was not alive when he died. He was an icon in my life because when I was a kid in the 80s, Bruce Lee was you told mythological stupid stories on the playground about Bruce Lee. Brandon Lee, I watched in the movies. I was like, man, Brandon Lee it's the son of Bruce Lee. Da, 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 da.
The Crow is one of my favorite
and
movies.
When that came out, that was devastating. I had an airbrush shirt when I was in college of Brandon Lee in The Crow catching the knife, right?
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you know this or not, the guy who actually pulled the trigger. So he pulled the trigger and it was a what do you call them? A blank.
Yeah.
And a piece of the outer shell of the blank, when it exploded, came free and shot out and hit him.
Yeah.
That's what killed him. So, I mean, was it the guy's fault who shot the gun? No. That was his job for the day.
Well, and I feel like the Brandon Lee situation, though, is vastly different from this situation.
Absolutely.
If there was a live round in the gun, I don't know.
But hold on. Well, let me get there. So this dude, I read a Rolling Stone article about this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once that happened, he went into a tailspin of he killed a man. And now he had to go to it haunted him for the rest of his life. He has now since passed away. If you watch the movie, a lot of people don't know the scene.
Mm.
If you watch the movie The Crow,
Yes.
It's the scene where he breaks into the apartment where Fun Boy and Darla are having sex, and he gets on the bed, and Fun Boy shoots him in the hand.
Yeah.
And then he shoots him later, and like that's they cut that actually out of the movie, but that's the scene. The guy who played Fun Boy shot him and killed him. So that haunted that guy for the rest of his life. He had a tortured existence because of it.
Right.
Went to therapy, and that was a complete accident.
Right.
And then now you have this, and I immediately right away I thought same situation.
Right.
Same situation has happened. And
not even the John Eric Haddix thing.
That's the guy from what was it, Voyager? What was the show?
It's not the one he died on, but
what was it?
Cover Up, I think he was on.
What's the so I was really shocked on Friday talking about this, how many people knew who that guy was. And you don't, Holly Ann is like completely blanked on this. So this actor in the 80s, what was the show he was known for?
He was known for Voyager.
Voyagers.
I remember Voyager.
So he was messing around on the set of some show, and he put a blank pistol to his head, and he pulled the trigger, and the compression blew his brains out.
The concussion. I mean, that was just, I mean, and he's actually like the reason they tell you never to give an actor a loaded weapon.
Yeah, I was reading something that like they were saying you should always have rubber guns unless there's an absolute reason for that. But
like cutting corners.
Yeah.
Like because they have to fix all that in post-production.
I mean, I feel like it's worth it.
So the movie Once Upon a Time in Mexico, I watched the behind the scenes one time, and there's an insane amount of like gun action in that film.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is fake rubber guns. And in post-production, like there's literally like scenes they show, and they're holding like what looks like a fake, like looks kind of like the gun, and they're like just like doing the mime of it.
Yeah.
And later on they like added the blast and all that out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why in this time where we have such great technology, and you could probably answer this.
You can,
why we would even
you guys are putting a lot on my shoulders now.
I know.
Like you're going over like half the things I was going to.
Oh,
no. I'm sorry. We're sorry, Smiley. But like, so Smiley actually works on set.
Yeah.
And should I tell the story of like where you actually learned to shoot guns?
Sure.
Okay. So Smiley, did you learn to shoot?
And this is funny.
Did you learn to shoot guns on set? Because like you shoot in a movie or a TV show. Have you shot a gun?
Yes.
Okay. Who taught you how to shot a gun in the movies?
I actually had we had a training cinema like thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 of us. Never had a gun. This is the scariest thing. This is what really scared me. I didn't learn. There was no gun safety involved with that.
No gun safety.
What I learned was like they put actual guns in your hands so you would know how to heft the prop gun so you make it look real, and how to correctly hold a gun so you don't look like a dumbass, and how to simulate recoil.
But was that real?
They let us shoot actual guns. I would actually not even know if a gun is loaded or not.
They let you shoot guns?
For the training course, yeah.
And taught you no gun safety?
None whatsoever.
Wow.
I was told specifically that there would be no time that you were handed a real gun, like a loaded actual gun. Because the second, I can't even tell you how many times someone puts that in my hand and the director tells me to point that at someone and shoot, and I do.
Because that's your job.
That's my job.
Yeah.
And I'm more like focused on not blinking or flinching while I pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So it appears that I know what I'm doing.
Which actually, when you pull the trigger, you do blink. It doesn't matter.
I mean, no, the whole point of the training was so you don't.
But that's not realistic.
Well, it looks good on film.
I know what you're saying. I know. I hear what you're saying.
The whole point is it's all just stage techniques.
Yes.
I wouldn't even be able to tell if a gun was loaded.
That's crazy, right?
That's nuts.
And that's why I heard about this and I was like so scared. Like, how many times it's like the AD comes up and hands me the gun, and they're like,
"Well, why is the AD handing you the gun?"
The first assistant director that's their job.
I thought it was like the person who's like the prop master or the armorer or whatever she's called.
Yeah, it goes through the armor and then through the props. And
well,
then...
from what they said in this article, like 2 people are supposed to. First of all, why do we have blanks still?
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
blanks.
with like the technology we have available now, I just feel like even if you have to do it in production, it's not like you have to go back and edit film like you did in the like 40s.
Well, first of all, you're not editing film.
No,
it's digital.
It's all on the computer. You're not having to like cut and paste actual film.
No.
So I don't understand.
I'm gonna say it's probably easier.
No, it can't be. Well, it's probably cheaper. Really, the word is cheaper. You don't mean easier, you mean cheaper.
Yeah.
Post-production is always more expensive.
Blanks are going to make the flash and the bang that you need.
Yeah.
And
but at what cost?
Human life, apparently.
Well, if you accidentally put around, I mean, that's the thing is like.
But this whole thing was done because of improper prop managing, and like there's apparently live rounds on set, which is never supposed to happen.
Here's the other thing I keep seeing, and I don't know if I'm not gonna jump in and automatically go, well, these people are right and these people aren't. So there's this whole like thing going on where the union is like fighting for more like rights for the people who work there, which they should.
Right.
More, less weekend work, less hours, so
you're
not tired.
For freaking lunch breaks, man.
Yes,
it's not that much.
Yeah.
But I've been seeing. Here's the problem with all this, though, is I keep seeing everybody like, and it may be true, but I don't know because I don't want to say this or that because I'm not there. But I keep seeing people like, well, this was done because they were scabs that were working on the movie, and they came in after the people walked off. And I don't know if people are taking something that was a tragedy and turning it into a political thing, because all of a sudden. For this job, and I was like, "What?" That was a couple months ago.
Oh my god!
Did you see that?
I've actually I've heard that a lot, like in the industry. Like they've been like so hard up for actually the qualified people for it that, I mean, it'd be like as ridiculous as like offering me like a second grade TESOL teaching position. Yeah. But I mean, you're pretty good at a couple languages, right?
Right.
Good enough.
Right.
But she actually said that her father's a legendary prop master in like Hollywood. But she was like, this is her second feature or second film. And she was like, I actually don't feel like I'm ready to do it or I'm qualified to do it. And I'm like,
oh man.
Now here we go.
Well, okay. So I want to bring this up because I heard an interview yesterday where somebody was saying that they think Alec Baldwin should have some kind of responsibility in it because technically it's malfeasance, and that when you drive drunk or something like that. And I'm like, it's not Alec Baldwin's fault. Never would if Smiley was in that situation and somebody, like he said, if somebody hands him a gun on set, he's just going to shoot it because
that's his job.
There's so many people that it's their responsibility to make sure that Smiley is safe and that everybody around Smiley is safe. And so, I don't know. I think that's worth talking about, I guess, in a way, but
never hand an actor a loaded weapon.
Yeah.
Because at that point it's just part of the character and it's just you're just gonna be using it that way.
And they yelled out cold gun before they handed them the gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and can you imagine also, I think it's kind of disgusting. I did see an article where they had pictures of Alec Baldwin after this situation, and he
Yeah.
looked devastated. He
Oh,
was
of
like on
course
the
he is.
side of the road, crouched down, just like, I mean, and I don't think anybody should be blaming Alec Baldwin.
No.
That's where I stand on it. But like I said, now that I've heard what Smiley had to say, where one, nobody's taught gun safety.
No.
You're taught to actually think of it so much less than an actual weapon, because it just needs to be part, like you need to like have the bravado. Like
Right.
I remember spending like hours just like
I mean,
sheathing and like just in and out
They
of
just
the
wanted
holster.
they just wanted to look cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
In and out of the holster. Like,
And
Well,
okay.
I couldn't imagine if like I went to go tell comedy and for some reason the microphone had bullets in it and something happened. Like you're just doing your job.
Pollyann, you run an open mic.
Yeah.
Someone goes up there, they touch their mouth to it, and it electrocutes them and kills them.
Right.
Well, Holly Ann was opening them. It's like, I don't know.
How do you
even know what's going to happen? So here's my shtick on this. I've grown up around guns.
Yeah.
My entire life, and I know this is going to be controversial, but I just have to say this. My father had guns.
Yep.
My father has guns right now. I'm extremely liberal. He's extremely liberal. We never had a gun safe in our house.
Yeah.
My father and mother, from a very young age, taught me these will kill you.
Yeah.
These will kill people.
Yeah. Don't ever point it at somebody.
Like, I remember I pointed a toy gun at someone one time, and my mother was like, don't you ever do that again.
Yeah.
And I said, it's a toy. And she goes, I don't care if it's a toy.
Yeah.
Don't you ever point a gun at someone ever again. Now, that's me 40 years ago.
Yeah.
As a little kid. And to this day, when I teach people or whenever I go out to shoot, which I've gone out to shoot with Smiley, because that's where Smiley learned gun safety.
That's where
my dad.
That's where I actually learned gun safety.
And I told Smiley, I said, hey, we're going to go out shooting. And I want you to know, if you point this at someone, you're going to kill them.
Yeah.
Not you might. You're going to kill them. If you have a rifle and you're not shooting it, you hold it a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And it doesn't matter if it's a toy, if it's a gun with blanks in it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was the point that you're making is exactly what anybody who's been around guns is thinking right now is why the fuck, even if it was just blanks,
right? That
just seems so dangerous. So I had guns. I'm very liberal also, but I had guns when I lived on a ranch because
that's what you do.
You need guns to kill coyotes, and
they're not weapons. They're tools.
They're tools. But now that I have children in my house, I do not have guns in my home.
But you're not shooting like shit in your yard.
No. But if I did have guns in my home, the first thing I would teach my children is respect this as a weapon, whether it's loaded or not loaded.
Yes.
Never put your finger on the trigger.
Nope.
And I don't understand how something like this could have happened. And I also can't believe people are blaming Alec Baldwin.
I cannot believe that either.
Yeah. And I'll have to send you the article too.
I was worried that you were going to be like, yeah, he should have. And I'm like, there's no way in hell.
No.
Alec Baldwin. Okay. People are like, oh, well, he's an actor. The problem with actors is they're literally like that. They're like just sponges of like, they throw them in a scene and they say, this is your job, learn this and do it. And boom. And then they expect to learn it from whoever's teaching them.
Right.
And on a movie in New Mexico called Rust that may or may not be like using scabs or is cutting corners, they're not like teaching Alec Baldwin, who I would never like. First of all, why has Alec Baldwin got a gun in his hand?
He's not really known for action.
What movie is Alec Baldwin like a badass?
When I heard that this happened, I was like 30 Rock Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I was like, first of all, I was like, the first thing I saw was Alec Baldwin shot and killed someone. And I was like, what? Like I thought like just randomly Alec Baldwin was like somewhere shooting somebody like.
Well, I'm in the middle of a major binge of 30 Rock, which is so weird for me because I'm like,
do you have a tux on?
Donahue.
It's after 6 p.m. I'm not a farmer.
Right.
You know?
I'm like, is he trying to like sell micro? Is he fixing something for?
And he's ultra liberal.
Yeah, he is. And but when I heard the news, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of movie is he doing? Because you just don't imagine Alec Baldwin as like James Bond. You know what I mean?
It's not.
It's a Western.
Yeah.
Is that what it's happening? Okay.
I really can't imagine Alec Baldwin as John Wayne.
Well, here's a better way to say it. And I want to say this right here and right now. And I wasn't there. I'm not there. I was not on the scene. I was not on the set. But people are like, well, Alec Baldwin should have checked the gun and da 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 da. What the fuck makes you think
he even knows how it's loaded?
Yes.
I've never loaded a gun in my life.
I'll tell you this.
I don't know how.
Boy, I've loaded a shitload of guns in my life. But like taking a gun, first of all, like taking a gun and knowing if it's got a blank or like a real bullet. I mean, I would know if it had real bullets in it.
I don't know that I would be able to tell just by like.
You wouldn't.
And on top of that, this is Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's a very, popular actor. Yeah. You would assume that any set that he is on has very trusted people working. Right. Sorry.
And like, as the actor, James, let me ask you this.
What?
As the actor, they're handing you something, and when you're on, people like have this weird idea of what set is like. And I know that I do, but like James talks about it and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. There's a lot of people on set.
Yeah.
There's a shitload of them, right?
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Everything that's not on the scene is just people.
Yeah. Yeah. And so as the actor, they're over in the center of everything, right? They're getting direction from the director. They're getting direction from the cinematographer. They're getting their blocking. They're getting all their shit, right? They have a lot of things to think about. So they are like, oh, well, they have an expert on set, an expert for the guns, an expert for fighting, an expert for this, an expert for that. And those are the people that they hire and that they trust and they think, oh, man. And so as the actor, you're the person who like sells it and you think it's real. And then they go and win Academy Awards or like Razzie Awards because they suck. And you wouldn't get good. There's no award for like, man, Alec Baldwin actually knows a lot about weapons. No one says that shit.
No.
They're there and they trust that these other people, and tell me if I'm wrong, they trust these other people are there and they're experts in their field.
Yeah.
And they go, cold gun, they hand it to you and you go, cool, I don't need to pop the cylinder out, pull the bullets out and look at it myself before I put the bullets back in, pop it back in and shoot the gun.
You're not even supposed to do that.
You're not allowed.
They would take it away from you. They're like, you're not qualified to even look at this shit.
Yeah. I feel for Alec Baldwin so hard. And I really hope that he gets the help that he's and therapy that he's probably gonna need, because I can't even imagine what that feels like. Right. And I don't even know how he would go to work from
and then everything he's like sent out social media wise has been amazing.
Yeah, he's
like
awesome.
And I'm like, how are you handling this well?
I mean, he might have some people that are helping him.
I'm sure.
But
I'm sure. Yeah.
I just
there's always a specialist there for that.
Yeah. I just hope he's gonna be okay. And I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to get out of bed every morning. No. I'll tell you that right now.
No, fuck no.
I don't think I would ever get out of bed ever again.
No.
I don't think I can ever use a prop gun until like I smack it against the wall and make sure it's rubber.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, well, I can use this.
I mean, let's be honest. We're done. We should be done in Hollywood. Let's be done with the blank gun. The gun with blanks in it. Let's be done with that.
I mean, how many times do these things have to happen?
And everybody's like, well, it's a low budget film. So it was Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez has a studio in his house that he puts all those special effects on himself.
Yeah.
Come on.
Figure it out. I mean, I feel like you can cut corners on a lot of things, but you cannot cut corners on people not getting shot. That's fucking ridiculous.
Someone posted this
And I also can't imagine. Sorry, I think this also needs to be
Yeah.
said. We brought up Alec Baldwin and him getting the mental health help
Yeah.
that he might need, but all those people that were on set,
That's gotta
like
be
I can't
devastating.
imagine.
Yeah, no, you were there.
Because-
Yeah, you were there that day. Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be terrible.
I quit. I like seriously. I quit waiting tables because I came in one day and one of my customers died.
In the parking
Mm.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've got to say this too. And
never wanted to go back.
we make fun
Right.
of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
People posting the shit with Alec Baldwin with the fucking teardrop tattoo under his eye, and like now he's
Yeah.
a real Burkeno. Go fuck yourself on
It's
that.
not
Yeah.
funny.
This guy, like,
Not
first of
funny at
all,
all.
someone said it correctly. This woman went to work
Mhm.
and didn't come
Come
home.
back.
Right.
Fuck you and your fucking dark humor.
And like I'm a comedian and I still am like, this is not funny. It's
No.
not funny. There's nothing
No.
about it that's funny. It's also it's too soon.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever not be too soon,
It
but
was an accident. It's terrible.
I
Could have been
just,
prevented.
and I don't think Alec Baldwin appreciates those things either.
No, he sure probably.
you know.
I guarantee he doesn't.
Because
I wouldn't.
This is terrible.
Dude, did you see those? Like where they had the
Yeah.
the teardrop under his
Well,
eye.
and somebody sent me a thing about it, and I was like, and they were like, ha ha, ha, isn't this funny? I'm like, no, I don't think that's funny.
No, it's not funny.
And they're like, oh, you're a comedian though, and I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If a
but-
comedian is telling you that this is too dark,
Yeah.
you have a fucking problem. Ask
Yeah.
ask Smiley how dark we get.
There's such a
You
thing
know?
as tact.
Yeah.
When Smiley tells you that, you're wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying Smiley doesn't
If
attack.
comedians or Smiley are saying you're going too far,
Yeah.
you've gone too far.
My
Because
favorite jokes are about cannibalism.
right. You know what? I enjoy a good
you're-
dead baby joke. Okay.
If you're going
Like-
past that, man, I mean, you're really going
Yeah.
way too far.
Do you know how the dead baby crossed the highway?
How?
Stapled to the chicken.
Nice.
I have a lot. I actually have a weirdly amount of dead baby jokes.
Hey, Chris.
I
Hey,
like
Chris.
it.
You know what's funnier than a dead baby?
What's that?
Fucking nothing.
Jesus Christ. Do you know what's easier? Oh, is this terrible?
No, I'm.
You know
fine
what's
with it.
easier to unload a truck full of bowling balls or a truck full of dead babies?
What?
The babies. You can't use a pitchfork on bowling balls.
So when I was having Ian, because he came early and it was scary,
Yeah.
and the way I cope with things is to make jokes. I was like, if because they kept being like, just so you know, he might not make it, and blah 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 blah, which is a very devastating thing
Oh God.
to
yeah.
hear. And so I'm not making light of the fact, that thank goodness my son is fine and it's okay. But like at the time, it was like really overwhelming and really
Right,
scary.
right.
And the way I deal with that is I make horrible jokes. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Cause, there's all these like female comics doing specials pregnant. And I'll just call my special dead baby jokes or something like that.
Jesus.
And the doctor was like, I don't know what to, because she didn't know that I was a comedian. So she was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? I kept making dead baby jokes and like all this stuff. And she was like, what the
You're like-
fuck?
You're like, what's red and tan and sits in the corner? A baby with a pocket knife.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's green and black and sits in the corner? Same baby weeks later.
Yeah. Yeah. and poor hamster.
Have you never heard these?
and
I have. That's
and-
Yeah,
and-
we're sick.
and poor hamster was just like, I promise she's not crazy. She's just a comedian. This is
how
joke.
she deals with it.
She is very stressed out and does not want our baby to die, so she can call her album Dead Baby Jokes. Okay.
What's red and goes round and round? A baby in a blender.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's an old.
That's
one.
an old. They're old, Smiley. There's
I
nothing
know.
new. These are these are up there with like
Oh, really?
these are up there with like the so when I was a kid, we had the dead baby jokes, and then we had the NASA jokes whenever the shuttle Challenger exploded.
Yeah.
There was
You
so
monster.
there's a ton of those, man.
I didn't. I was not privy.
Really? Do you want me to say any of them?
No.
You know what? So you want to know what? You don't want to hear these? Okay, I won't tell them. They're good though.
Yeah, good.
You know what NASA stands for?
What?
Need another 7 astronauts.
God damn it,
Oh.
man.
God damn it.
There's some bad ones. They were terrible. You were a kid. They were terrible.
I can't stop him.
Uh,
Slap. I can't slap him.
I can read from here.
and it was like Krista McCall, right? She was the teacher that died.
Oh,
Did you know she didn't take a shower before they went up?
I did not know that.
Yeah, because she's like, we'll wash up on the beach later. That's terrible, right? Like, those are terrible.
God.
But those were like the kid jokes you told. Like,
Okay, so we don't tell these jokes about Alec Baldwin, guys. These are
Exactly.
not.
That's you. I said, should we not tell?
Yeah.
them?
No,
I
it's
said,
fine.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, we
But-
don't listen to you.
I mean, it's fair enough. I mean, I'm not usually the voice of reason.
So I watched a couple of like murder documentaries this weekend.
Do you know what the official beverage of NASA is?
Here we go.
7-Up.
Oh my god, I knew it. I was about to say 7-Up and I couldn't. Anyway, so I watched a couple murder documentaries this weekend, and so I found this very interesting, and it's in like the same vein. So I watched the one about the what was that cult?
Which one? Heaven's Gate?
Heaven's Gate.
I watched that. I watched some of those people.
So I watched this really good documentary on HBO about Heaven's Gate, and they were so some of the people who survived, meaning they didn't participate in the suicide.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yes.
Do you like this? Do you like Fireball? My dad likes Fireball.
Interesting.
My dad is into Fireball.
It is good.
I know what we're getting in for Christmas.
Some Fireball. Can I do another? Can I do another one?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're cold.
I'll do another one. Sorry, I watched
that's
some of
okay.
this. What was it on? What's it on?
I
Is it
watched
HBO
one
Max?
on HBO Max.
Yes.
And it is really good. It's probably one of the best ones I've watched about something like this because they found survivors and people who
Yeah.
there's a guy who was like, I still kind of believed in it and I left, which is bizarre on its own. But here's where I think this is in the same vein. They were
Okay.
talking about how hurtful it was for the families that when the Heaven's Gate people died, that Saturday Night Live was making jokes
Fun of
about
it,
it, and all these talk shows were doing it, and it's moments like that where like I see something in a documentary and it makes me think about the things that I talk about on stage, because sometimes I'm like, well, everybody's laughing about this.
I should get a
And
joke.
I should really, because here's
I
the
gotta
deal.
fire up a joke. real
Yeah,
quick.
it's like I have to have a joke about this. You know what? You don't have to have a joke about it. You don't. Because here's the deal. All those people had family members who hadn't talked to them in years.
Yeah.
Some of them went back to their families and spent time with them, and their families thought they were getting them back. And then a couple days later, they killed themselves. So
Right.
when you look at it that way, and when you see these family members that are talking about how hurtful that was, that the whole country was laughing at their family member who died,
Right.
you're like, oh, this isn't
Oops.
about the person who maybe shouldn't have done that. This is about the people who are left behind or whatever, or being affected by it. So just remember that when you're making those like, oh, Alec Baldwin is a real Burkenio now. If Alec Baldwin
That's
sees
fucking-
that, that's not cool. If her family sees
Yeah.
that's not cool. That's not funny. There's nothing about it that's funny.
And I may be wrong on this. I feel like the difference is like Alec Baldwin's an actor, and Alec Baldwin
Right.
and like Alec Baldwin's like but like the people who were in a cult.
Oh yeah, no.
That's
But I'm saying like the
yeah.
people in the cult. But if you think about it this way,
they have family that
their
like, yeah.
family did not make that decision.
No,
and
you're
their
right.
Family,
No, you're right on that.
and I think sometimes we go too far as a society. When we think something's funny, we selfishly cope by making jokes, not thinking about how uncomfortable we're making other people. And especially if you're here in Albuquerque, I'm going to tell you right now, you tell a joke at my open mic
Yeah.
about this situation, I will ban you.
Banned.
Because here's the deal. There's a lot of people who live in Albuquerque who work on the film sets,
Right.
and you never know who's in the audience.
Who was there? Who could have been there? Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I guess I feel really bad about all those NASA jokes.
Yes, you should.
The dead baby ones, not so much, but the nasty ones, okay.
Well, because that's not a like specific person. Like you make a dead baby joke. That's just like
Well, I was a kid. Those were like, I
Yeah.
mean, you were a kid on the playground. That was
Yeah.
that was like what you just had. They were there, man.
right.
And then I do remember, like in the 7th grade, though, we went to this like big auditorium thing, and they had NASA there, and they showed off like all of their like technology. And this was when I was in the 7th grade. This is way a long time ago. And I felt really bad about those NASA jokes back in then, but like, you know, those were, but like that was a thing.
That was the thing.
I literally remember when it all happened. They wheeled in the television set
I
into
heard about
elementary,
this.
and we
It was
watched
a huge thing.
and we watched the shuttle Challenger explode. Like they're like, this tragedy happened. You guys need to see this. And it was like, whoa. And then I remember when I was in college, and the second one blew up.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that one though. That was like less like, I don't even remember which one that was. But yeah, I shouldn't have told those jokes. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's fine.
I apologize.
It's okay.
But like, you're right. So the Alec Baldwin thing though is like, the Heaven's Gate thing. I watched some of that, and like, so interesting. Like watching how these
cults interest me, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Same.
I was raised, and I don't want anybody to take offense to this, but I was raised Catholic, and I feel like I was forced to be that way.
Yeah.
Because Catholics don't wait until you're, older. It's just you're born, they dunk you in some water, and then you better do all this or you're going to go to hell, and that's it.
Wow.
And you're a terrible person, and we're going to guilt you, and you have to go tell a priest how you feel about things and what bad things you did. And I mean, don't even get me started on all the problems with the Catholic Church.
Right.
But I kind of understand. Also, if you haven't seen Midnight Mass, which is a horror
I've
series,
heard about this. Yeah.
it's great, and it is fucking crazy. If you grew up in the Catholic Church, it really gives you the heebies. But I can kind of understand how these things kind of happen.
Yeah.
But then you see something like the Heaven's Gate, where you're like, okay, you weren't a child. As a matter of fact, you're told you can't have sex. So you can't even have children. I think they had one girl that her parents were Heaven's Gate people. But like, my biggest thing was the guy who allowed them to do an experimental castration on him.
Yeah. What was up with you, dude? What's your deal, bro?
And he not only stayed in the cult till the end, but the guy, Sawyer or whatever, who like they're interviewing, he saw him as like the perfectionist one that he had to compete with. And I'm like, dude, my guy, he let people cut his ball sack open, take his testicles out, sew it back up, and then they debated if they were going to take him to the hospital or not, because it was going to compromise the mission.
At some
it
point,
was insane. And then they were like, we called a Catholic priest because we figured they might have tried this. I'm like, what the fuck are you?
Well, okay.
No, go to the hospital.
I don't know if you know this or not, but like in music, in like choir.
Yeah.
So you have the soprano, the alto, the tenor, the
baritone,
whatever.
Yeah.
But there's have you ever heard of the castrato?
No.
So the castrato is the young boy that sings very high pitched very well.
Yeah.
And they castrate them so they do not go through puberty and can sing well.
Oh, so your voice doesn't change. Man, I wish that could have happened to me.
Fucking James. You son of a bitch.
And our Kramer.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like,
well, no, it makes sense.
But
I hated when my voice changed.
So like that has to be like Catholic shit, Catholic Church shit. I mean, I feel like that.
Catholic. So like,
hold on, let's pull this up.
Hamster wasn't raised with any kind of religion, right? So we started watching Midnight Mass, and he was like, "This isn't real," and I'm like, "Oh, this is fucking real." He's like, "This is the horror part, right?" And I'm like, "No, that's
this is the normal shit.
That's Catholic Church. That's not the scary part of this show. That's just how priests are."
Here we go. A castrato is a type of classical male singing voice equivalent to that of a soprano, a mezzo-soprano, or a contralto. The voice is produced by castration of the
What the
singer before
fuck?
puberty, or it occurs in one who, due to an endocrinological condition, never reaches sexual maturity. Castration before puberty prevents a biological male's larynx from being transformed by the normal physiological events of puberty, so they get that vocal range.
You don't get
Oh
that.
my God.
You don't get that
Oh,
Adam's apple.
And my favorite part about this whole story is that they let a member of the cult who happened to be a nurse once perform castration. Like, okay, so
So
I
you
don't
took
know.
an A&P class?
It was so crazy to me. And I'm watching this whole thing. Of course, Hamster walks into the room when the guy's getting castrated, and he's like, "What the fuck are you
Cutting
watching?"
his balls off. They're cutting my balls off, coach.
It's an educational video.
Yeah. So I was watching. I don't know if it was this documentary or one of them.
Yeah.
Where they were like, anyone could be like pulled into a cult at any time, and I was like, horse shit.
I mean,
Horse shit.
shit.
People come to my door and they're trying to sell me like fucking alarms, and I'm like, just get off the property.
I turned 7 and was like, wait a minute. So Catholics, let me get this straight. I have to do this first communion thing because my parents seem to think it's very
this
important.
seems stupid as shit.
But I was like, okay, so we're gonna eat the body and blood of Jesus Christ. Like, are we gonna be cannibals during? And I think you guys have heard my joke about this, but it's like, are we gonna be cannibals during church?
Is this part of the communion?
Whose blood are we drinking?
Yeah, I was just like, where
do I know?
Do
I know who they are?
Is this blood locally sourced?
Yeah. Is this organic? Is this processed blood?
Like, I was so devastated because my dad let me watch horror movies. So I was like, wait a minute, excuse me, are we going to be cannibals during mass? Because I don't know if I'm okay with this. My teacher didn't know how to answer it. I got sent to the principal's office.
Oops.
The principal was like, I don't know how to answer it. It's because here's the deal. They're not going to say it's not really the flesh and blood.
Right.
But they also can't say, but we're cannibals. So they didn't know how to answer it. So the principal called a priest who can exorcise demons out of people's bodies, but couldn't answer a 7-year-old. So they had to call my dad, who wasn't Catholic at the time, and he shows up and he's just like, why are you crying? And I was like, I don't want to be a cannibal. And he was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
She didn't want to put on the Nikes.
Yeah.
Lay in the bed.
And get covered with a shroud.
And get covered with a shroud and commit suicide.
You know who I feel worse for?
And meet the aliens at the tail of the comet.
You know who I feel worse for?
Who?
Is the guy who, he left the cult 2 weeks before. And he was like, look, I think I have a higher purpose, which was like, I don't want to go the Jonestown route. That's what it was. He was like, I see what's happening.
I see your shiny rings.
And he literally goes,
he's like, I'm a Reebok guy.
No, worse than that. The guy literally goes, I think my higher purpose is to write a book about this. Because in his mind, he's like, you guys are fucking idiots and people are going to read this.
They go, and then we're going to kill ourselves in a couple weeks. And he goes, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? Can you say the last part again?
Yeah.
They're like, about the shoes? We're gonna put no, the part after the shoes.
Yeah.
We're all gonna kill ourselves so we can meet the aliens at the tail of the comet. And he goes,
I'm gonna write a book about this, guys. You guys are gonna
be famous. Okay. And they're like, you're in, right? Yeah. I'm in. I'm in.
Let me speak with my publisher.
Hold on. I have to go to the bathroom real quick, though.
Yeah.
And he's like disappeared.
So, I feel bad for this guy because he leaves the cult 2 weeks before they do this. He's like, I'm going to write a book about this. This is what I've been called to do. And then they're like, okay, we're going to send you the address and you're going to come and we need you to come in and film all of us and make sure that we're covered in all the shrouds. So they had to die in like 3 waves. And this guy had to come in and make sure they all looked decent. And they wanted them to film what everybody had done. And then he had to call the cops and be like, hey, this is an anonymous tip. And the cops were like, how do you know about this? They go, how do you know about this? And he's like, well, I received a letter.
Someone wrote me a letter. And they went, wait a minute. Someone wrote you a letter?
So you didn't know this ahead of time
and
at all?
And then they went, in the mail? Not like an email, not like a message, right? And he's like, no, it was a letter. And they went, send everyone.
Come on.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
Oh, was it? Was
People
that the
still
90s?
did
It was
Yeah.
97. But anyway, I found
Is this the
whole
one that
thing-
was? Is this the one that? Okay, I'm sorry. go
People
ahead.
still
you're fine.
used mail.
There was one that. Okay, so I don't know if I saw this documentary on HBO Max. I know it's there. I saw one that was called. It's okay.
Are you talking about the sex cult?
No,
Because that one is. Woo-hoo.
Which one?
So I watch on Vice, Dark Side of the Ring,
Yeah.
and that's the most popular show on Vice
Right.
channel. And everyone's like, "What's Vice?" Vice channel.
Oh, it's amazing.
So then they went Dark Side of the Football.
Yeah. Dark Side of the 90s. Right?
Dark Side of the Football is terrible.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the 90s, they have a Tale of Two Cults.
Ah.
Was one of the episodes. And
Am I involved in this?
it's about James Smiley. And no, Dark Side of the 90s, the Tale of Two Cults is how in the 90s you had the Branch Davidians.
Oh yeah, Branch Davidians were
And
crazy
you
too.
had these
Heaven's
guys,
Gate,
Heaven's Gate.
yeah.
And so they talk to a lot of the same people. Now, my problem is like when I was a young man and I was in the 90s and I was ignorant of like how the media manipulates shit.
Yeah.
It took a man by the name of Bill,
Mm-hmm.
last name Hicks,
Yes.
to make me understand. And this actually changed my life. Actually.
Bill Hicks changed a lot of lives.
Bill Hicks, I watched a documentary about
Genius.
him, and I remember like being alive and watching the news about the Branch Davidians and them versus the United States government
Yeah.
in Waco.
Yeah.
And being like a person that's like, oh man, the wacko in Waco, these crazy
Yeah.
people. And oh my God, now they're burning themselves alive and like to cover up all the bullshit. And then I watched a documentary about Bill Hicks.
Yep.
And I watched footage by Bill
Mhm.
Hicks. And
Bill Hicks is really one of the reasons I wanted to be a comedian. But continue.
am I
He's
trying?
amazing.
Am I trying to say that I'm like, oh, I think the Branch Davidian people were great people?
No.
I'm not saying that at all. But the craziest thing in the world is what I learned in that is like, there's an amazing quote. It's easy to, and I'm really paraphrasing.
Yeah.
It's easy to condemn those crazy people
Yeah.
in that church that the government has said are bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Until you are those people
Yeah.
in that church.
Oh yeah.
And when they showed in that documentary about Bill Hicks, the American government spraying fire
Yeah.
into the church that they all said they burned themselves
Yes.
down in. And you see the tank firing
Yeah.
fire into the church.
It's like, why are you so scared of people who are quote unquote crazy?
and you say that they burn themselves up, but you're spraying
Yeah.
fire into the church. Why would you're saying they burn themselves up, but there's footage of you burning them up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So here's the deal. Branch Davidians, and I'm not gonna get real
Yeah.
in depth because we don't have time for that, but like I can see where they were coming from.
Shit, yeah, you can.
And I'm not saying again that they were good people. I don't condone what happened in Waco, but I can see where they were coming from. Here's the problem with the Heaven's Gate people. The leader decided that they all had to kill themselves because one of the other leaders who was supposed to be immortal died of cancer, and he didn't know how to answer that. So he said, we all have to die. That's just what has to happen.
Man, that is some dedication to a con.
It's really either
Well,
that or he just really wasn't all
I'm
there,
glad
but-
you guys brought that up.
Man, I mean, that's like
Really?
inspirational.
No, I'm kind of glad you guys brought that up. So on the next episode,
Like if you make a lie and you fucking live it all the way down.
Oh God, what's gonna happen the next episode?
I'm just saying we all have to do something together. And I mean, It's just what has to happen, guys.
Is the next episode next Sunday? Because I won't be here because Halloween and I have to take my kid trick or treating.
No. We'll do the
unfortunately,
next the last episode of 10 Drink Minimum will be the weekend after.
Oh.
I mean, the next episode. Sorry, did I say last?
What the hell, man?
I'm just saying we all have to take these shots.
Wait, is this a ginger beer or a Kool-Aid?
We all have to go to the next level, guys. We're going to the next level.
That's.
We're moving on.
Okay, so on that note,
we're moving on to the next iteration of what will happen in this life.
Oh God.
Because I'm moving on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, so Chris brought up Bill Hicks, who is one of my heroes.
Greatest comedian of all time.
The greatest. He created the 10 Commandments of comedy, which I follow. But do you want to hear some of the comedians people are going to be covering?
I'd like to hear this, yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
So we have Bernie Mac.
What?
Nice.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, I want to see this.
Ali Wong.
I don't know Ali Wong. I don't know her.
Oh, she's good.
Okay.
Dane Cook.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I went, ew. And the person who did it, I'm like, ugh.
How much stage space do you have? Because they've got to move all over the
I
stage.
know.
Yeah, if they're not like randomly like walking around like a crazy
all over
person,
the
Yeah.
it's not really like he doesn't have good jokes, but he's got good stage
Jokes.
presence.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. This is tomorrow night.
Yes.
By the way, at Inside Out.
Henny Youngman.
What?
Yep.
Who's doing Henny Young?
I'll tell you later.
All right.
George Carlin.
Oh.
Norm Macdonald.
Hold on. Question.
Yes.
On the George Carlin, how much time do they have?
6 to 7 minutes.
That's not enough.
I know, but you know,
That's like one. Okay.
that's one George Carlin.
That's
joke.
one George Carlin.
So
joke.
George Carlin and Bill Hicks are my two biggest influences.
Okay.
Of course, I'm a female, so it's a little different. But I understand that. That would be one of my jokes
All right,
also.
all right.
Anyway, Norm Macdonald.
Ooh.
This one is
Hold on. I'm just kidding.
Gallagher.
Wait. Okay. Honestly, terrible comedian
Yes.
at the end of the day.
But it's gonna be great.
But are they gonna full throttle like Alec?
I can't wait to tell you who's doing it.
All right.
Brian Bradley, Kermit the Frog.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Kermit the Frog.
Yes. Chappelle,
like a
Louis
king of-
Black, Greg Giraldo.
Wow, Greg Giraldo.
Yes. Whitney Cummings, Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, his actually, dude,
He's genius.
his like stand-up special that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
If people have never seen it, it is honestly one of the best I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
It's so good.
I'll say Zach Galifianakis is one of the best crowd work comedians.
He
I've
really
ever
is.
seen.
He really is.
Yeah. And people don't
Um,
know that. They don't know that. Yeah.
We got Richard Pryor, Andrew Dice Clay, Bill
Wow.
Hicks, Moms Mabley. Like, it's gonna be
This could be amazing. Are you going to go to this?
I will actually come out tomorrow.
it's gonna be
Alright.
amazing.
Maybe,
I
actually.
just don't see so like when Kurt and I had talked about it,
Yeah.
I had been thinking about it for a while and I was like, I don't know. And like people are just gonna choose like, you know, surface comedian.
No,
but
these are
these are
fucking
great
solid
comedians.
motherfucking choices.
So we're gonna see. And here's the other thing that's really exciting about this is
Yeah.
it's bringing out a lot of comedians, local comedians that we haven't seen in a while. So like our Scotty Goff is gonna be there. We haven't seen him in a long time, and Scotty Goff is pretty fucking hilarious. Keith Breckenridge is gonna be there. Like all these people are coming out because they're very excited. So
This is a great idea.
yeah, so
Yearly.
so we have to do it every year now. So
You might have to
please-
do multiple nights next
I
year.
know, I know.
It might end up being like 6 nights in like
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple
So,
locations.
Please come out tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. I know that all of us have put a lot of work into it. I thought this was going to be really easy, but it's proving to be a big challenge because
What's
I
the
have
challenge?
to do somebody else's material.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant
And-
like the actual putting on the
No. That's easy. But having to be somebody else is
Yeah.
very, especially for me, because I do comedy about my life.
Are you gonna actually dress up?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm gonna
hey,
try
hey,
the
check
most
it
I
out.
can.
Acting's actually hard, isn't it?
It's very hard because I was like, oh, I'll just memorize the jokes. It'll be fine. It's really, really difficult. And because I'm so used to just like my cadence and how I do things.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of chickened out a little bit by choosing Whitney Cummings because I get compared to her an awful lot. And I'm even having a hard time with this. So
you should have done like a Jeffrey Ross or something.
That would have been fantastic.
I honestly thought about doing Carlin.
Oh God, I would love to see a woman do Carlin.
But somebody beat me to the punch. And then I thought about doing Sam Kinison because he hated women so much. And I thought that would be kind of funny. But then I decided not to do that. So I thought I'll do Whitney Cummings because we're compared to each other all the time. This won't be so difficult because I have to host also. And it's very difficult. I'm
excited for this. I'm excited for this. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's tomorrow.
Night.
Yeah.
You thought it was gonna be tonight? Like we're just gonna like fucking bolt over somewhere? Like
Yes.
all right. All right. Well, with that, I'm excited. I'm very excited. So tomorrow night, Hall of Spirit. No, sorry, Inside Out.
Inside Out. It'll be at Inside Out. Get there, as early as you can. I don't know
what time the doors open.
Doors are I'm gonna say doors
free?
are at 6. It's free.
It's a free event, Albuquerque.
It's a free show.
It's free.
Oh, I gotta get there early.
Hey, Albuquerque, guys, how you got like free?
This is free. So
free
just come.
For all.
There's no drink minimum. There's no cost at the door.
Oh, no, you have to drink 7 to 8 beers.
You have to drink 10 drinks minimum.
Yeah.
But
I'll be there.
It's not so hard once you get used to it.
Yeah. But I really, really think tomorrow night is going to be really fun. And I think the thing that came out of this is like I have been challenged as an artist because I'm like, I need to write better.
This is going to be big. So, I mean, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. This might not be big this year.
Yeah.
But like some people are going to say, they're going to tell everybody like, oh, that was fantastic. Go. What are you waving at?
I wanted y'all to film it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we can. I can film it.
You can film my set. Yeah, you can record mine.
I'll do the best I can.
And who's doing Carlin?
Carlin?
She hasn't said yet.
I'll tell you after that.
Yeah, she'll tell us. She doesn't want to be able. So here's the thing. It may or may not be successful this year.
Right.
But the word of mouth from this year will make next year bigger.
I think this is going to be really fun. And I think it's something that hasn't really been done before. And I think, Kurt had pitched it to me and I had this idea for years. I think I had talked to you about it.
Like you did. And I was like, this sounds fucking amazing.
And I was like, but I don't know how to like pull it off because like, how do you pitch it to comedians? And then when somebody who's been in comedy for 20 years goes, it would be fun, guys.
Let's kill a man. Oh.
No, we do that every Friday night, Chris.
They just don't film it.
Yeah, we don't.
No, that's secretly out in the circle of trees.
But, when Kurt brought it up and we had a venue and we had a space that lets us do whatever we want, I said, yeah, let's do it. So let's see what happens. I don't know. It'll either be really great or really terrible.
No, I think it's going to be fantastic. I can't. Okay, so here's the deal. It's going to be like Night of Living Cover Bands.
Yeah.
It's fantastic or it's terrible. And that's the life that it is. I'm going to talk about, so I went to all 6 nights of the Night of Living Cover Band. I mean, that's a good transition.
Yeah.
I went to all 6 nights. This was like
a trooper.
Like a trooper. I went to all 6 nights. I like going out. And like, the pandemic has put a damper on my life. And so like, I love the support. And I went out and, I want to say this. This year was very lean on the bigger acts of Night Living Cover Bands, like of our Albuquerque scene. And that's a good thing. Our scene in Albuquerque, music-wise, no one wants to say it. We need to let the younger groups come in and be a part of it. And this is how it happens. This is where it comes. And like every time I'd go to a show, someone would come up to me and be like, I don't even know half these groups. I don't even know like probably 3/4 of them. And I'm like, that's a good thing.
That's how it should be.
That's how you fucking listen to something and go, wow, these guys are actually really amazing. I'm going to go check them out. Now, of the 6 nights, some of the highlights. Of course, there was some standouts, and they were the regular standouts.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are their names? What is the Dust City Opera?
Yeah.
As the Rolling Stones, they were fantastic, as they always are.
Mm-hmm.
They always kill it in 9/11 cover bands. And I actually told Paul Hunt, I was like, he comes over and we're talking, and I'm like, Paul, let me ask you a question. Do you just always pick a band where you can just take your shirt off on stage? I mean, do you really do that? Because he was like David Bowie, and then I can't remember who they were always somewhere like next year you guys going to be like Marky Mark of the Funky Bunch. What's sort of and then of all the groups though, I'm gonna say this, like the group, like Adam Hooks and the Huckleberries. I mean, Adam Hooks has been in the scene for a long time.
He's amazing.
They're a country band. They did Rage Against the Machine. And I was like, are they going to do a country version of Rage Against the Machine? And they did not.
That's awesome.
They did Rage Against the Machine as close as Supergiant did like 5 years ago.
Which Supergiant was really
fucking fantastic. I'm going to say Adam Hooks and the Huckleberries was one of the highlights of 9/11 cover bands.
That's awesome.
Now, there was an all-girl group that did the Beastie Boys.
I saw some video of that.
Fantastic.
Who was that?
And they were called Show Pony, I think, or something. Like they were in like, here's this craziest part, right? Their guitar player got sick, couldn't do it. Chris Walsh from Prism Bitch had to step in, and he had a 2-hour practice session and nailed it as a guitar player for that show. The Talking Hours as Bruce Springsteen.
Amazing.
Okay, I have to talk about the Talking Hours for a second. It's a 2-piece. Mo from Music Around. He's the guy who runs Music Around.
Right.
And it's his wife.
That's
and his
so
wife
cute.
is the drummer. It's cute, but it's not. His wife is the drummer. She's the best. I'm gonna fucking say this right here.
Okay.
Right now. My realtor who got me this house is a drummer in Albuquerque. Love him to death. Mo's wife, the Talking Hours, the best drummer in Albuquerque.
Wow.
Hands down.
I've never been let down by the Talking Hours.
What's that?
Better than Kirby?
Oh yeah.
Have
you seen the Talking Hours?
They're so good.
So when I watch them, it makes me feel exhausted.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone she hits it hard like Dave Grohl hits it hard.
Yeah.
When they did Born in the USA, and she's like fucking blasting the drums like she wants to pierce them with the sticks. I'm like, this is amazing. Like I'm blown away. You've got to go see the Talking Hours.
They're so good.
And you tell me if Kirby's a better drummer. You tell me.
Okay.
I think Kirby's probably up there. He's up there with her.
He's my favorite in town.
I'm going to tell you.
Sorry, you're a realtor, but
no. Ben Levine. Ben Levine's a great drummer too.
He is. He's great. But I mean,
I think Kirby is better than Ben Levine. But I think Mo's wife, dude, and she was not even originally a drummer. She was a guitar player. I talked to her dad last night.
Wow.
Or 2 nights ago. That was one of my favorite, and then Mo gets up there and he has the headband and he's like, we wrote this song back on Nebraska. It was on the Nebraska record. He had the whole Bruce Springsteen. Now, another highlight, Dave Jordan's band. I can't think of their name. They did Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh.
And they went for so usually when we talked about this when Barney was on the show, a lot of people watched that show with Barney. I had so many bands come up to me and they're like, thanks for mentioning us on that show. I'm blah, blah, blah from that band. And this band gets up there and they do Death Cab for Cutie, right? And it's like Dave Jordan and them. They're kind of like a death or a metal band. And the guy's like, I wrote this song when I got braces. And so my teeth got fixed. And then they would play Death Cab. And he goes, I wrote this song about my ex-wife and I loved her a lot. And and he goes, everyone knows who she is. It's Zooey Deschanel. And he starts playing, and I was like, and like the acting part of it
That's great.
was fantastic, and I loved it. Like when bands got up there and they were like, "We're this band," and they didn't try to be like. And the worst part was like the very first band that played on the very first night of Night Living Cover Band. And this is how you should never be. And I mean, you think like, oh, we're just kind of being kitsch and cute, and this is how you don't get booked. This band gets up there, they're not dressed up at all. It's a 3-piece, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we're the Cranberries. Welcome to Night Living Cover Bands." And they start playing, and they go, "This is the Cranberry song, this," and then they end, and they go, "And this is the Cranberry song, this."
So they just didn't even get the concept
No,
at all.
they didn't at all. Yeah, and it's sad. It's real sad. And but there was some really good. Like I was kind of blown away, and I'm trying to think of what the other ones were. Sorry, Gueto as like Garth Brooks last night.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw that one too.
It's there was some but like
I mean, I didn't see it.
You've got to go out to it, like so. Like as like the person Holly Ann is this person that's like hosting this. Now maybe like these people will be like, wow, I can't believe how well this person hit this. Like they'll come out and see more comedy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So I hope people see that like we're taking ourselves out of our comfort zone and having to take on somebody else's material. And I think with comedy, I don't know how that's going to happen. I've never seen cover comedy, so I don't know like if you're going to make. So basically what I told people is like, you can write jokes in the style of that person. You can tell their jokes and do it as them in their cadence, or you can write your own jokes as if you were that. I mean, we literally were like, do whatever you want to do and we'll see how it works. But I'm going to tell you, trying to be another comedian is really weird.
You know who I would love to see in future like versions of this?
Who?
Lenny Bruce.
Oh, I love Lenny Bruce. I have a Lenny Bruce record.
Someone can we all owe Lenny Bruce a lot.
Oh, every comedian who says any cuss word owes Lenny Bruce a lot. I owe Lenny Bruce a lot.
We owe two people. Lenny Bruce and what's Hustler guy's name?
Dang it.
He died this year.
Who?
Oh gosh.
Allowed to talk about being pregnant because what gets you pregnant? Sex, and women are not supposed to be sexual.
What?
Yeah, and so she told a joke about the pregnancy test and how the rabbit died, and she knew she was pregnant because of that. And everybody lost their shit, and she was like, "Fuck you." We should be able to joke about this stuff, and if it wasn't for Joan Rivers, I wouldn't be able to talk about abortion rights,
right.
cannibalism, abortion rights, any of those things.
Same thing.
And again, like always, if you need to visit New Mexico from Texas, I would be more than happy to house you in my home and give you a ride to where you need to go. Or if your daughter needs to come in from Texas, please give me a call.
Good job. I want to thank everybody for watching this show of 10 Drink Minimum. I think it's all over the place, and I don't know how the podcast itself, because we keep getting like kicked out of StreamYard. I've never been kicked out of StreamYard so much time.
We're all over the place today, and I have to go teach a child how to do homework. So
that's fair enough. I have to teach Smiley how to love.
That's not going to happen.
That's a big ask.
That's not going to happen. But I want to thank my parents for being here live in the studio with us. I want to thank Holly Ann.
Thanks. You're welcome.
And James. And I hope people listen and love. And remember, when you meet us in person, we are just people.
Don't look me in the eye. I will attack you.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
If I seem awkward, it's because I am.
Yeah. Pretty much the same. I may give you a sweaty pocket sticker.
Yeah, I probably smell like rotten milk. It's fine.
And make out with your girlfriend, but that happens.
It happens.
Happens. I mean, I can't help it.
Holly's so bad at that.
Holly makes
making out with everyone's girlfriends.
Holly Ann does make out with people's girlfriends too.
I do.
They're like, "Oh my god, we met Holly Ann," and he's like, "Look." They look over their girlfriend, and you're making out with them, and they're like, "Hey,
I miss steal your girl."
Yeah, there you go. It happens. But thank you guys for listening. With that,
we are 10 drink minimum.